Ten Commandments in Catholic tradition form the core ethical guidelines for Christian life, believed to be given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai. They are a fundamental part of the moral teachings of the Church, reflecting divine law and guiding how individuals should relate to God and others. Catholics, like other Christians, follow the Ten Commandments, but organize them slightly differently than other Christian traditions. Here's a detailed explanation of the Catholic Ten Commandments, along with the deeper meaning behind each. 1. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. Meaning, this commandment centers on the worship of God alone. Catholics are called to put God at the center of their lives, avoiding idolatry, worshiping false gods or material things, and anything that takes priority over God. This could mean refraining from worshiping idols, money, fame, or anything else that may distract from one's devotion to God. It also emphasizes faithfulness and trust in God's power and authority. 2. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Meaning, respect for God's name is paramount. This commandment forbids the improper use of God's name or any holy name, such as Jesus or the saints. This includes blasphemy, swearing oaths falsely, and speaking irreverently of sacred things. Catholics are encouraged to use God's name in prayer, reverence, and praise, rather than in trivial, disrespectful, or dishonorable contexts. 3. Remember to keep holy the Sabbath day, meaning Catholics observe Sunday as the Sabbath day, honoring it as a day dedicated to worship, rest, and renewal. The Church teaches that Sunday is the day of Christ's resurrection and is set apart for participating in Mass, reflecting on God, and refraining from unnecessary work. The essence of this commandment is recognizing God's rhythm of creation and rest, making time for spiritual and physical rejuvenation. 4. Honor your father and your mother, meaning this commandment emphasizes respect, love, and obedience towards one's parents and, by extension, authority figures. It calls for family relationships to be built on love, respect, and care. Honoring parents also involves caring for them in their old age and showing gratitude for the sacrifices they have made. In a broader sense, it extends to respecting legitimate authority and contributing positively to society. You shall not kill, meaning this commandment forbids the deliberate taking of an innocent human life, which includes murder, abortion, euthanasia, and suicide. It emphasizes the sanctity of life, teaching that every person is made in the image of God and thus deserves dignity and respect. Additionally, it encourages actions that promote peace, protect life, and safeguard the dignity of others. It also covers anger, hatred, and vengeance, calling Catholics to practice forgiveness and nonviolence. 6. You shall not commit adultery, meaning this commandment prohibits sexual relations outside of marriage. Adultery refers to infidelity in marriage, but this also encompasses any sexual act that violates the sanctity of marriage, including fornication, pornography, and impure thoughts. Catholics are taught to uphold the dignity of marriage as a sacred bond between spouses and to practice chastity, whether married or single, maintaining purity in body and mind. 7. You shall not steal, meaning the 7th commandment covers respect for others, property, and encourages honesty and fairness in dealings with others. It prohibits theft, cheating, and unjust taking or withholding of someone's goods. Beyond material theft, it includes issues of social justice, exploitation, and the fair treatment of others in economic dealings. Catholics are urged to foster generosity, stewardship of resources, and the fair distribution of wealth. 8. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Meaning, this commandment calls for truthfulness and integrity in all communications. It forbids lying, slander, gossip, perjury, and any form of deception that harms others. Catholics are encouraged to speak honestly, preserve others' reputations, and promote truth in personal relationships, legal matters, and social dealings. The deeper meaning is about honoring the truth and building trust within communities. 9. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Meaning, this commandment deals with controlling impure desires or lustful thoughts towards someone else's spouse. It emphasizes purity of heart and mind, instructing Catholics to respect the marital bond and avoid any desires or intentions that could lead to adultery or infidelity. It challenges individuals to practice self-control and avoid objectifying others, promoting genuine love and respect within relationships. 10. You shall not covet your neighbor's goods, meaning, the 10th commandment addresses the sin of envy and the desire for what belongs to others. It warns against the temptation to obsess over material possessions, status, or wealth that someone else has, fostering discontentment. Instead, Catholics are encouraged to cultivate gratitude, contentment, and generosity. It challenges believers to focus on spiritual wealth and the well-being of others rather than accumulating or desiring more material goods. The 10 Commandments as a whole. The Catholic 10 Commandments are not merely rules to follow, but are understood as a guide for living a life that reflects God's love and justice. They are divided into 2 key areas. The first 3 commandments focus on our relationship with God. The remaining 7 focus on our relationship with others. Catholic tradition holds that the commandments are rooted in natural law and express basic principles that apply universally to all people, leading to a life of virtue, peace, and communion with God and one another. The commandments are also seen as part of a greater call to love God and neighbor, reflecting the teachings of Jesus Christ, who summarized the law in the command to love God with all your heart and to love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22, verse 37 to 40. Thus, living according to the commandments is seen as an expression of love and obedience to God, which leads to spiritual fulfillment and eternal life.